Now let's talk about the macronutrients in general: carbohydrates, proteins, and fats. Alright, so your calorie, which is your energy, again, unit of energy wise, carbohydrates has, again, this is 1 gram, okay? 1 gram of carbohydrates has 4 calories. 1 gram of protein has 4 calories. 1 gram of fat also has 4 calories, okay? Now, just by looking at this, you can see that each gram, for everything, it is 1 gram. So 1 gram of carbohydrates is equal to 1 gram of protein here. It both gives 4 calories, but look at the fats. I think I said 4 calories. Actually, fats are 9 calories. Sorry about that. Okay, fats are 9 calories. So if you can see over there, fats has more than double the amount of energy that it'll produce in 1 gram. Okay, so more than double, 4, and 9, which means that you will need to take about a little more than 2 grams of carbohydrates and protein just to make it equal to 1 gram of fat. So just because it says, only 5 grams of fat and say 10 grams of carbohydrates in your nutrition label doesn't mean that this is a really good food, because calorie wise it's still high in fat and it's still going to produce a lot of calories. Okay, now the carbohydrate can be further broken down into complex fiber, and it's going to be our sugar. A lot of you guys have probably heard, almost everyone I should say, have heard about fiber and sugar, but not many people actually know what is a complex carbohydrate. Complex carbohydrates are complex because molecularly they are really complex. I know it doesn't really make sense to you, but let me put it this way. I should say it takes a lot less effort for a body to break down sugar than it takes to break down in the complex carbohydrates to its most simplest form. Okay, so if you take sugar, for example, the body breaks it down. Okay, if you take in a complex carbohydrate, it does break down into final product of sugar as well, but it'll take a lot of time and lot of effort, which is actually good, because when you take in the food, you don't want an instant amount, everything released at once. You want it sustained and maintained release. Okay, fibers are something that will help you not to be constipated. That's the most basic work of a fiber. It also helps in slow release of the same, again, carbohydrates. All right, so complex carbohydrates are good. Food that is high in fiber are, again, good. Sugar, it depends. If you take in a little bit of sugar, it's good. If you take a lot of sugar, I should say, lot equals bad. Okay, let me just put it in the most simplest way. Sustained energy release. Fiber helps you, I should say, not be constipated. I should say is bad, and I've tried to avoid it. So good and bad, and this is very basic for video purposes only. Okay, the functions can get much more complex, and I can take a couple of hours just explaining each one of them. Let's talk about protein. Protein are of 2 types. We have your complete protein, incomplete protein. Now, what do you mean by complete protein? What do you mean by incomplete protein? Okay, now the protein is made up of amino acids. There are a total of 21. All right, 14 of them can be produced in the body. Now 9 of them cannot be produced in the body. Now the food that has all 9 amino acids are known as complete protein. All 9 essential amino acids. Why they're essential? Because the body cannot produce it by itself. It has to get it from the food source, okay? Incomplete does not have 9 amino acid. So, for example, if you take, say, 1 gram of incomplete amino acid, your body will not be able to function properly just by taking in incomplete amino acids, okay? So, an example of complete amino acid is going to be all the meats, including chicken, beef, fish, anything, plus some plants, okay? Some plants, like for example soya products, okay? Your incomplete protein going to be legumes, grains, nuts, etc. Okay, these are incomplete. If you only take protein that comes from grains, your body will not be able to function properly. However, the thing is, if you mix 2 different incomplete proteins, you might make it a complete, you should be able to make a complete protein. You will be able to make a complete protein. Why? Because the amino acids missing on grains might be present in nuts. Okay? It doesn't mean you have to take it, together. You don't have to take it, you don't have to put grains and nuts in the mouth at the same time. As long as you get in within a day, it's okay. Your body will still be able to use it, and you'll still be able to take a complete protein. This knowledge is very crucial for vegetarians and especially vegans. If you are a vegan, if you do not know how to make a complete protein, you are in a big trouble, okay? The only reason why I'm telling what's the difference between complete and incomplete protein. So vegans and vegetarians, keep this in mind. Mix grains and nuts to get your complete protein out of 2 incomplete proteins, alright? Protein, everybody knows, essential for building muscle, or maintaining muscle mass, alright? Fats, 2 basic types: unsaturated, saturated. There are a lot of functions for both of it, but generally, okay, unsaturated fats are good fats. The fats that are present in nuts, okay, the good, for example, olive oil. The unsaturated fatty acids are liquid in room temperature. Okay, so if you put it outside in a regular room temperature, it's going to be liquid. Your saturated fatty acid are the fatty acids present in like meat, for example, or unhealthy fatty acid, unhealthy fats. All right. There are some importance of saturated fatty acids. For example, testosterone. The production of testosterone depends on the amount of saturated fatty acid as well. But the thing is, people take so much of saturated fatty acids that is actually unhealthy. But in moderate amount, in good amount, saturated acids are good as well. The saturated fatty acids are solid in room temperature. Alright, these are good again, these are bad. Now that's the very basic thing you should know about nutrition in general. It can get very complicated. Registered dietitians spend the entire life studying just about these different types of these and benefits and stuff like that. But this 15 minutes of video cannot cover everything. So I'm just giving you basic general knowledge. What is a carbohydrate? What is a protein? What is a fat? Okay? Carbohydrates 4 calories, protein 4 calories, fats 9 calories. Carbohydrates have 3 components, protein has 2 components, and fats has 2 components. Now we know what are good carbohydrates, what are good sources of protein, and what are fats. On my next video, I am going to pick something up that has actually a nutrition label. I'm going to read it off and I am going to talk about it. Okay? I'll see you guys next week. Bye bye.